Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, going into the heavyweight boxing talk, alright, Deontay the Bronze Bomber, your main man, everyone's favorite heavyweight in my comment section, he has basically stated that he hopes to get praise from Mike Tyson in public. He wants the validation of Mike Tyson not just to be when he's sitting ringside, but he wants Mike Tyson to go to the media outlets, go on interviews, and praise Deontay Wilder's power the way he allegedly did ringside when he fought Luis Ortiz in the rematch recently. Now, let's get to the quotes from Wilder because I find this pretty interesting and we'll dissect from there. Here's what Deontay Wilder had to say in regards to Iron Mike and I guess him and his admiration of his power. He said, I quote, "I had some people sitting by Mike at my fight. Mike gave me some praises which I wish he would have said in public. Behind closed doors is cute and shit, but out in public, just express yourself. I don't know what the deal is with the old generation, new generation. Like the old is the past, bro. Let it go. And sometimes history does repeat itself, and God brings others that come along to make their own history. I had people telling me that Mike was saying when I knock guys out, I had to use combinations, but wow, that guy can hit. I am the hardest hitting puncher in boxing history, period." So there you have it. Deontay Wilder seemingly begging for the validation publicly of Mike Tyson. Now look, this has been something, this is not the first time I've talked about Wilder and Tyson in the same video. A couple years ago I made a video where Deontay Wilder said that he's the baddest man on the planet and that he would have knocked out the Mike Tyson of the 1980s. The late 1980s, that was in his prime. You guys can go watch that one over here or here. Where I'll leave the card for you guys so you can go watch it. It was back in 2017. But listen. At some point in time, because now Wilder is talking about this, someone's going to ask Tyson about this. And Tyson, to me, regardless of what Wilder has to say, he doesn't strike me as somebody that would be a hater. If he really believes, if what Wilder is saying is true, if he really believes that Deontay Wilder is the hardest hitter in boxing history, then I think Tyson will say it. I've never known Tyson to be a hater. He's not like some of the other heavyweights. Now, whether or not he beat Tyson in his prime, that's a whole different discussion for a whole different day. Personally, I don't think he would. But that's up for debate. A lot of people are on the Wilder bandwagon right now. A lot of people are beginning to come around on Wilder. Personally, regardless of what any of Wilder's haters want to say, I've always liked Wilder. I just don't like how he's handled his career. But I've always rated him as a top heavyweight, as a hard puncher. I just don't think it'll be Tyson Fury, because I think Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight of this era, and I've always remained consistent in saying such things. Just because Wilder's knocking everybody out, and I think he might be the hardest puncher in boxing history, doesn't mean I'm about to put him over Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury is the kind of heavyweight that would have been champion in any era. That's how special I think he is. But with Deontay Wilder, Mike Tyson, listen, bro, it's gonna happen when it happens. It's good that Wilder put it out there now, so now this puts the pressure on the boxing reporters who get a chance to stick their microphone in Mike Tyson's face to ask him the question. And if I ever get the honor, which I hope I do one day, if I ever get the honor to ask Mike myself, I will ask him myself. Now, I will offer Deontay Wilder another alternative. This is just me, this is BT, just a kid from Daniel with some boxing shirts and credentials on his wall. I think what Deontay Wilder should do is he should openly petition to get on the Mike Tyson Hot Boxing podcast. That's what he needs to do. That way you can confront the man face to face. That's number one. Number two, you'll get some exposure because people watch that channel and they watch his podcast. And number three, it would just be great boxing talk from a hard hitter of today and one of the hard hitters of yesteryear. I think it'd be a great piece of boxing content. So just a tip, Deontay Wilder, PBC, any of his people who may stumble upon this video. If you want Wilder to get some more publicity, try to get him on that. I don't know how you would go about that, so don't ask me. But try to get him on that Mike Tyson Hot Boxing podcast, because that would go a long way towards getting him some exposure. Now, I could see the other side of this because I've seen people talk about this like they make it sound like Wilder is whining and trying to get validation when he shouldn't be worried about validation. Like if he really thinks he's the hardest hitter of all time, then be the hardest hitter of all time. What the hell you need Iron Mike's validation for? You know what I'm saying? Like why do you need his validation for? Would it be cool? Yes. But you know, it is what it is, man. Everything in life is timing, like Flo would say. So maybe in due time he'll admit it if what you're saying is true and it's not just your friends and family blowing smoke up your ass. But yeah, that's what it is. Deontay Wilder also said, no surprise. He also stated in the same article that he expects to beat Tyson Fury in the rematch by knockout, and he had some quotes on that, so I want to read that as well. He said, I quote, I mean, if him getting up off his back is the kryptonite, then Lord have mercy. Have mercy upon him the second time because he will not get up because I'm going to get him again. These fighters had to be perfect for 12 rounds, and that's 36 minutes. 36 minutes, you got to be perfect. Okay? And then he goes on to say that Artur Spilka was his most brutal knockout of them all. And he said, I quote, man, I think the Artur Spilka fight tops it all. Just the way he landed, I really didn't see him breathing at all. I didn't see him start breathing until his girlfriend came over and finally woke him up. It was something like in those movies, and I actually had to witness it with my own eyes, and it was amazing to see that. That one I really felt it. Ortiz, I didn't even feel that punch. So Wilder classes the Artur Spilka knockout as his hardest of all time, and I would say just from the outside looking in, that one, the Spilka fight, Sergey Liakovic when he had him ceasing on the ground, and Dominic Brazil, to me, in that order, probably are the three hardest knockouts of his career. But you guys can rank your favorite Deontay Wilder knockouts and the ones that you think are the most brutal in the comments down below. But yeah, Deontay Wilder wants the praise, he wants the acclaim, he wants the validation of Mike Tyson, who is sitting down in their ringside, and he thinks that the older generation is hating on him. Now, I disagree with this because I can't speak for all the older generation heavyweights, but I have a connection, as many of you know, to two of the most prominent heavyweights of the older generation, which is Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe. Now, Evander Holyfield, go back on my channel. I'll leave a link for you here. This guy has always went out of his way to praise Deontay Wilder and how great he is. Chris Bird, when I talked to Chris Bird, when I interviewed him about a year ago, another guy gives praise to Deontay Wilder all the time. Riddick Bowe, another one that gives Deontay Wilder praise all the time. So, from my perspective, I've seen a lot of the old heavyweights validate and talk up Wilder, which actually makes these Tyson comments seem a bit like he's reaching and kind of fishing for validation. So I could see if people are saying like, look, this guy's just whining and he wants attention. So I can see what they're saying because from my perspective, all the old heavyweights I've had a chance to talk to personally have always talked glowingly of Deontay Wilder. But that's just my perspective. I'd love to hear yours in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And I'll be sure to read those and respond to them. And by the time you guys see this, I'll probably be in the UK. So if you're in the UK and you want to meet up and talk some boxing, make a video in preparation for Anthony Joshua Fight Week, do that. Leave your let me know. Get in touch with me on here or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. You know, any one of those will suffice. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.